So a lot of people of all ages are starting weightlifting for the first time. It might be students in school taking a weightlifting class, maybe weights as part of a sports team, or even older adults. I can speak from experience. I know myself and a lot of other friends more middle age are going to the gym for the first time in many years, and weightlifting is part of that. So how to do it correctly, how to minimize the chance for injury as part of weightlifting. And to answer that, we have our professional Dr. Ward with Ward Chiropractic. Hello, Dr. Ward.
Hello, Rob.
All right, so whether you're 16 or 46, you're starting weightlifting for the first time. What can they do to minimize injuries and what should they keep in mind?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm kind of sad you included yourself as an older adult there, Rob. But I mean, I'm gonna continue on the way
I
here.
feel very comfortable with that comment. So,
So so weightlifting. Wow. I really like lifting. It's good for young folks and older folks. It's good to build muscle mass. It's good to build bone density. So I'm a huge proponent of it, and I definitely don't want to come off negative at all about weightlifting or resistance training. But there are some things we want to keep in mind, especially when we first get going to avoid injury. And the main thing is to that I see people coming in for is they've had a breakdown in form with their weightlifting. So maybe they've tried to lift weights that are too heavy or they've tried to do too many reps, and it's those last reps or those heavy reps where they typically get injured. So in weightlifting there's a term called reps in reserve, and that means if you were to stop weightlifting at that point, how many additional reps could you do if you had to? So basically, when we first start weight training, we want to have 3 to 4 reps in reserve. So we don't want to go till we're about to fail. We want to go till we still have some gas left in the tank, so we're not likely to get injured. And then, as far as back injuries, the main problem that people have with lifting is they get into this forward hunch position where their lower back goes from an extended position to a rounded position. So that rounded forward position, 99% of the low back injuries I see with lifting happen with that rounded forward position. So just be very careful not to get in that position. Keep that low back nice and straight or extended during all your lifts, whether it's a bench press or a squat or a deadlift. Pretty much every lift, you want to keep that low back extended.
so
And
some
then the
people have
last thing,
talked about using your legs versus your back. Is that similar? Like lift with your legs versus your hunchback because you're putting the strain on the
yes,
back?
absolutely. I mean, very few examples with most lifts. You want to be lifting with those big muscles, those big joints, like the legs, and you don't want to be feeling a lot of exercises in that low back. So that's definitely something good to keep in mind. Um, yes, and then especially for young folks, I put this out there. Don't let your ego get involved. So it's easy when you're in a gym with a lot of other young people to kind of compare yourself to them or try to outlift them, and that's yeah. Look at those guns there, man. But that's a common area where we will see a lot of injuries, and adults are no stranger to that too. So I shouldn't just put that all on young people, but don't let your ego get involved. You don't have anything to prove to anybody. If you just remember, if you get injured, that's going to take you out for a given time frame, and then you're going to lose muscle mass and gains during that time. So it's always better to keep it light. You can gain plenty of muscle in that 3 to 4 reps in reserve range. And then the last comment I'll make is you want to make sure you have good form with the exercise. So they have lots of good YouTube videos now you can check out. There's a lot of good information there. And then I know a lot of young students will be lifting with instructors, so use them as a resource. And then if you've exhausted those resources and you're not quite sure, a trainer might be a good option just for a session or two to make sure your form is correct.
Got it. Well, a lot of folks are starting weightlifting days. We all know it's important, but it's also important to maintain our health and minimize the chance for injuries. So, very insightful. Appreciate your time, Dr. Ward, and I'm sure a lot of folks will benefit from your insight today.
Happy to help and appreciate your biceps, man. Good work with that.
I do what I can. All right, take care.